Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, what am I cooking up this morning? So once again, I didn't have time to think this out because I was too excited to share it. So let's just go with the flow. So I watched a video, it came up. You know, on your thing, it just comes up of a woman creating her own sketchbooks. And that has been dwelling in my mind now for a while. I buy these sketchbooks and they are really expensive. And I thought the other day, you know what? Why cannot I make my own? Really? Why not? So, and then, you know, YouTube can read your mind. So, then I got this link, and this woman, I will put the link below, was making a sketchbook, journal, let's call it a junk journal. Yes, that's what she called it. And man, I was blown away. She made it look so easy, so I thought, well, let me try this. But once again, I didn't watch a lot of videos, only hers. And as I was starting to put my things together, I realized, but you know what? Somewhere else I saw how you can dye paper. Because all that I now really have, and now I didn't bring that down, was my A4 ordinary paper that I got from husband out of his office. You know, the printing paper. So, and I just realized they're not thick enough. When you work with water and watercolors and things, they are not really thick enough. So now I actually need to go and buy other paper to make a proper art journal, a sketchbook, you know. So I thought, you know what? Let me just do what she did. She just used all type of papers and then the printing paper, and she was just throwing them all in. Oh, and then I looked and saw if I can find a video of hers. And yes, she made paper. Beautiful paper by using tea. So I watched a little bit, immediately ran to my kitchen, boiled some water and started to throw in papers. But very soon I ran out of a problem because I thought at first, I don't have the papers. I don't have paper. Because I'm not a scrapbooking person. I don't have lots of scraps. The only scraps I actually have is my jelly plate prints. Many scraps, jelly plate prints. So I thought, wow, let me use them. Why not use some of them in between the ordinary paper? Because I love to write in my sketchbooks. So I can use the ordinary paper to write on. I can use the other papers to do my gluing artworks and stuff on. So I started to look for books and stuff in my house that I can use as paper. So immediately, what she also used was these ordinary line papers. And I thought, oh, well, this is a book from my son, grade 11. I mean, this book must be 20 years old because he's now 35. So I thought, okay, let me do this. So I tore out a couple of pages out of the book. So immediately, I had some papers. I also bought this book at a charity shop a while back because I thought, you know what, look at the beautiful pages. If I want to do a jelly plate print there, then I've got the sides. So I found this book and I decided, you know what, let me see, I'm going to use a couple of these pages. So I tore some out, and I did all of this. I think it was 4 o'clock that I started with my project yesterday. And once again, I realized something. I am not a perfectionist. Let me tell you, after a while, I was really kind of realizing my things are not going to be perfect. My little book is going to be skew and the pages are not going to be lining up. Remember, this was the book that I used for my jelly plate prints to clean my little roller. And I thought, you know what, some of them I wrote on, some of them I'm not really using this book, so I'm just going to tear some of the pages out that also has some prints on it. So guess what? Voila, after a couple of minutes, I had lots of paper. You see, we always believe we don't have, but as soon as we start to scratch and think and see, out comes the stuff. So use what you have to create what you love. That's my motto. So here are some music sheets. Now, some of these things, they are not A4. My book is going to be A4, an A4 page that you fold like this. So this is going to be the size. That's what the woman said. That's what I'm going for. So out came this book of mine. Remember, I bought this book a couple of months back. It is a old crochet, how to crochet. I mean, really, I am never going to use this because I love to crochet, but I do the crochet along videos because I cannot read the pattern, and I am really not going to learn how to read a pattern. Really? Why do I have to? So at this stage of my life, I do what comes easy. If it doesn't come easy and I don't have to do it, why will I put stress on me? So once again, she did do this for a living, so you must see her books. They are absolutely magnificent. She's a perfectionist. I fell off the wagon there, right in the beginning. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to play. So this is how I do it. Yes, I do have the little knife thing, you know, that you cut very nice with, and I think I've got pads and things that I can do it on, but I don't know where it is now, and I couldn't find it yesterday, and I was really not worried. So I'm just using an ordinary pair of scissors. This is my large thing. This is a little bit larger than an A4. So what I do is just I take my pair of scissors and I just cut it. So what if my little booklet is not perfect? I'm doing what comes easy for me. So there are some leftover pieces. Perhaps I'll do something with that. I don't know. So these were the papers. And then I had the ordinary A4 paper that I don't have here now, but I'll show you. So the ordinary printing paper. So I took one of my oven plates. There is one. This one is actually a little bit small, but you know what? I am just showing you because I made most of my things already. But once again, I used what I had to create my beautiful colors. So this is I did not use rooibos tea. I used my red tea. Remember when I made my material cloth? I used the red tea, I used the blue tea, and I used coffee in between, and then I used borrie, curry, what are those things, the name of that? Turmeric. I used turmeric. So this is now the rooibos. So today I am going to do the rooibos. So what I also did, remember my channel's name is Zetster's Lab. And actually when I was telling husband about this morning, he just laughed. He said, yes, but that is what your channel is all about. You just look at things and then you see if it can work your way, an easy way. Just do it, don't overthink. Just see how it's going to work. So once again, exactly what I did and what I'm doing now. I'm taking some stuff and I'm just looking to see if it's going to work. So this is actually, remember the stamp pad ink that I used. So I'm just going to throw that in. It's broken, but it's going to be beautiful. This is just an ordinary thing that throw away paper, and this is a jelly plate print. This was a jelly plate print with the stamp ink. So I've got lots of these papers. So that is what I'm going to use to create my book with. So the tea is in here. So the funniest thing just last night, as I was on a roll, so the little flower tea I used had the flowers in. So they were just in between the pages. I left them in. The red tea I used actually was loose tea. So I just had my loose tea in here and I just put my papers in between the loose tea. You know, really, let's see how it works. That's what I thought. So this is supposed, the woman said, you know, it must be a little bit, oh, she even threw in bicarb. But really, you must watch her videos because these things need to be, I don't know, at the right, not too sour or whatever, I don't know. pH, I actually did sky nut, what do you call that in school? Science. I nearly say science and wonders. Well, I'm still wondering what that was all about, the science, because that was not my forte. And I was not a very good student, so I'm still wondering. But I did it. So she said the pH must be normal or something, so she threw in some bicarb. That's what I now did. And then she just put the papers in. I'm once again just going to put them over the tea. So I'm just dripping and putting in my papers. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but I'm loving it. So this is my line paper with lines. These are my crochet papers, so you just put it in she wore the gloves and everything. Fantastic. So this is now, you put in your papers until all your papers are in, or your tea is done. So I had my 3 things. Look here, this is a little photo I found in my one book. So I'm going to put him in too. This is my music sheets. Oh, they are a bit big, so I'm just gonna, I will have to cut them, so I'm just gonna put the one side outside. These are that little beautiful little book with the photos on. This is my jelly plate print book. So I actually, wow, Dee, this is for you, one of my friends out there. I used most of my jelly plate prints. I put most of them, some of them in the teas, the rest I'm using without the teas in my little books. Because guess what? So she said, the woman, you need 10 papers, 50 papers. You need 50 papers, and then you use 10 papers each. I'll show you later in the little folding book thing that you make. So you're going to have 5 folding little books that you're then gonna glue together or whatever to get your book. So that is what she said. That is what I did. But guess what? I had much more than 50 pages at the end. And that was when I started off with, oh, I don't think I have papers. So at the end, I had 50, much more than 50. I saw this morning, but I stopped because I really wanted to share this experience with you. So I stopped, made husband breakfast, did not clean anything because I was too excited. This comes first. So voila. I just thought, let me show you how I made the papers. So now you can leave this overnight or up to 3 hours, she said, in the tea. And then you take the papers out and you put them outside. Oh, no. So she had this. This was the funniest ever. That woman is a perfectionist. She's doing these things. This is a job. It was fantastic. I am so impressed with her. That's why I just had to try it myself. And then once again, I realized, whoa, no, I am not a perfectionist. That is not gonna work for me. But guess what? My way is good enough. You know, absolutely good enough. Papers, I made one bouquet already. I'll show you later. And I'm good enough. I don't have to be perfect to do this. I don't do this professionally. I do it for me. I love the idea of things not perfect. I love the idea of creating this. So this is fantastic. So what I did, so what you're supposed to do with this, after a day or 3 days, she had a plastic tablecloth that she threw open somewhere. She had the space. I tried to do it. I took one of my art tablecloth things that I use when I have an art workshop. I threw it open in my little studio up there. I mean, and I could actually put 10 papers on. And I thought, you know what, really this is not going to work for me. So immediately I went outside and I put my things outside. So this is, I think, part 1 of this video of how to make your own journal with what you have. So this is the first part. First you find your papers. Whatever, you go into your house, you search. As I said, I found music sheets, I found big books, I found books from my kids at school, I found all my jelly plate prints, and at the end, I dyed so many things that I can make 2 books now. Well, after this, I'm sure it's gonna be 3, you know. Once again, don't overthink. What am I gonna do with these books? I don't know. I'm just making them. I've got everything. It's not costing me a dime. It brings me so much joy. I am learning something. I am learning so much about myself. Let me tell you, I've realized once again, I am not a perfectionist. My things are not going to come out perfectly, and that's okay with it. I also realized I'm very impatient where this comes. I did not have the time to wait. I think I did wait about 3 hours, but that was pushing it. That was very hard. So at the end, when my things were in for 3 hours, I started to pack them out, as I said, in my little room up there, realizing that's not going to work. So what did I do? I went outside on my patio, on my brick patio. I actually packed out my things. I mean, they already look dirty because of the tea and all the stuff in it. So what is it some sand or stuff gonna matter? It's just gonna give them more texture. So I had mine out. The wind was blowing. So after a while they were blowing in the wind. Some tore, and guess what? I love the touring. So I am now gonna stop with this video, and then later I'm gonna go put all my things outside, and then I'm gonna show you how to dry them and what is the next step. Love you lots, is it from Zester's Lab. And once again, if I can, you can. Use what you have. As I said, the definition of an artist is what if this, of a creative person. What if I do this? What if I do that? I even had, this is my tea I used to get my blue papers. I even kept them inside the water. So when I took out my papers, they were full of the little flowers. And that actually made darker marks. And the ants came. So after a while, I had to scratch them off with all the ants from my papers. So use what you have. Look and see and Google a little bit and see what can you use. I just thought, you know, with the turmeric, it worked on the on my cloth. Why won't it work on paper? So that is why I made one with turmeric. And the blue worked nicely. The red tea worked fantastic. This is what they use, the rooibos tea. What they actually also do, she used coffee, ordinary coffee. And then she just put little drops in. But now this is very delicate. You don't want to tear this. So I'm just throwing some coffee in between my stuff. Because how can you go wrong? I mean, really, you want nice looking textures, whatever paper. The more things you use, the better. Oh, I was actually thinking. You see, now this is now typical me. I start off with what you're supposed to do, and then I think of adding stuff. So this is my stamp pad ink. So now I really need some gloves. So I am just going to drop some drops in here. I don't know what's going to happen. Who cares? Just a drop here and there, and on my bottom papers, because why not? Try what you use, what you have. Experiment, play, become like a child again. Just do stuff. As I said, I never did any of these things when I was a kid. And my parents were farmers. They were busy farming. I was on the farm and I played with my animals and outside and whatever. I never experimented with these things. So you know, you're never too old. I'm doing it now. I am unlocking more and more of my creativity, because the awesome thing is we are all born creative beings. Go into the world, create your life, but we forget about it. We think it means, you know, study, go to school, study, get a work yourself, blah, blah, blah. No, we create our own beautiful life. So this is, I'm still busy with 30 days. Wow, I think this is 26. The 26th video. I mean, I'm blown away. I did it. I'm doing it. I'm doing a 30-day challenge. I'm impressed with myself. Let me tell you, this was a challenge for me, and I am loving every moment. I am learning so much of myself, of what it means to just go with the flow. As I said yesterday, I was still busy with my dried leaves, jelly plate printing. Today I am making an art journal. No, not an art journal, a scrapbooking journal. I mean, who would have thought? Not in my wildest dreams, but I'm doing it. And I am learning, I am unlocking more of that creativity that's never been used before, who has never developed. I'm unlocking it, and I'm having the time of my life. And as I said, when I started this YouTube channel, we didn't have a name, and my kids came up with Zetster's Lab, because Mom, you are crazy. You just all over the place. You just do anything. You don't think. And that is where Zetster's Lab came in, because my name is Izet, but the kids usually call me Zetster when they're now jokingly talking about me and all my craziness. And you know, so really I absolutely love making these videos. That's why I do it. I told you at one stage I had more videos than subscribers. It didn't matter, because I'm doing this because I cannot help myself. You know, Picasso painted. I love making videos, sharing my creativity, what I've learned, what I am learning. And as I said, this book once again is showing me I'm very impatient. I don't like to wait, so I rush my things. So, but that's okay. That's me. I'm different than you. Perhaps you're going to do this perfectly. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do everything perfectly. Everything's not supposed to be a burden. Creating a beautiful junk journal like this isn't supposed to be a burden. If you start it, you try it, just go for it and see how it unfolds, where it's going. And you will be blown away. Your mind will be blown away because something will emerge that's magical. You know, we just got to get out of the way and just start to do our stuff. Like I'm now doing with this. So after yesterday, now I am doing the rooibos tea and I am throwing in some stamp pad ink. Why not? So love you lots. Is it from Zetster's Lab? Stop being scared to try new things. That is what I am forcing myself to do. Go and do it. You know, just for the heck of doing it, of enjoying your life for a change, of learning new things, of making messes, of just playing. And we got to learn to, as I always say, become like a child again, to get to your joy, because your joy is in here somewhere. But we've stopped creating, we stopped having fun, because we try too much to be perfect. You know, this world wants us perfect, and we're scared to fail. You can't fail in creativity. All you can do is get more creative. And wow, what a blessing that is. So this is my papers. They are brewing in there. And I'm going to take them out in a while with a new video, and then we're going to see what happened. Love you lots. Is it from Zetster's Lab? Fear not, all is well.